Merry meet guys, welcome back to Witches of the Moon. This is week 4. I'm your Wednesday host Houston, and this week we are talking about the Seals of Solomon and other magical seals. Like I always say, if you haven't checked out Natalie and Jennifer's video, sorry for the bouncing. Again, you're on my bed like usual. If you haven't checked out their videos Monday and Tuesday, I highly suggest you do it. They're very informative. Tonight I wanted to do a little bit of my own thing. I did, before this season, I did buy this. It's the Three Magical Books of Solomon, Testament of Solomon, His Greater and Lesser Keys in one volume. It's a fantastic book. I'm not a ceremonial magician. I'm more of a chaotic. My practice is more chaos-based, where I experiment with things, work with energy a lot. But I can definitely see the seals being very beneficial. Natalie gave awesome information on the seals of Saturn from Timothy Roderick's book that she did, A Year and a Day, I think 2, year 2, or the blue book. But my experience, I don't really have. You would find, so there are other books other than the Seals of Solomon that you can find magical seals that represent spirits to call upon spirits and use their energies. There's a book that I used. Actually, hold on, let me get it. It's easier to show you than to talk about it. Oh. Found it. So, back in the corner. So this book, The 72 Angels of Magic by Damon Brand. Instant magic for instant access to the angels of power. So in each of the angels, there's a seal. I worked with one of these angels to help secure the job that I'm in now. I think I talked about that either on my personal channel or this channel, but that is also another type of seal. I'm out of breath. I don't know. Wait, whatever. Another type of magic other than calling and commanding. I'm not a big fan of commanding of spirits and demons. I rather work with and, have like an equal trade. Like if they do something for me, I'll do something for them or offer them something. I'm not a big fan of controlling and compelling as of yet. It may change in my later years, later in life. But this type of magic, this type of how he prescribes it, is you call on the angel Raziel, the keeper of secret knowledge, and while you are saying the psalm or the Hebrew version of the psalm, you are staring at the seal in a clockwise pattern, and you are visualizing what you want, you're speaking what you want, and you do that for 11 days straight. Try to do it at the same time. And in my experience, it works fantastic. I'm not going to walk you through what exactly. I do recommend getting the book. It's not that expensive. It's part of the Gallery of Magic series. They have tons of different books. They have a book called The Words of Power, which is a good one. They have a book on Chaos Magic, which is iffy. They have a book on Protection Magic, which is pretty good. But that's not what we're talking about. So seals, they can be used like the Seals of Solomon to conjure spirits. But the Seals of Solomon also have the pinnacles of the 7 planets of the Moon, the Sun, Jupiter, Venus, Mars, Mercury, and Saturn. The 7 planets. They have 5 pinnacles of each of the 7 planets. I highly recommend, if you're interested in doing that work, they can be drawn onto paper, onto candles, for specific things. If you're interested in that, Google the pentacles of the moon, the pentacles of Saturn, the pentacles of all the 7 planets, to see what they do. This book, it does go into it. It's the way it was written. It's very early English. Of course, they didn't really modernize it. They just transcribed it. So some of the stuff can be a little bit confusing out of the book, but I do think there are many other reputable sites and authors that have written on the seals and the pentacles and what they can be used in magic for. If I remember, I saw one working of a fellow practitioner on Facebook and Instagram. He posted it on Instagram and it went to Facebook on the automatic. But he did a seal of Mercury, and he really wanted it to rain in his area, in his town, because they didn't have rain for like 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. And so he submerged a particular seal of Mercury into water, and that brought about rain. It symbolically brought about rain. That could also be used if you wanted to bring about rain in a particular area. You could have that area of the map laid out, put a bowl of water, and then put that seal of Mercury in the water, and just to showcase that you want that area, specific area, to get rain. You can do the same thing with Natalie's first one. The first seal of Saturn is to get domination over someone. You can put that in your shoe, print it out, draw it, put it in your shoe, either in your right or left. I would do whichever side you're dominant on. Me is my right side, so I put it in my right shoe, and you would gain dominance in your persona. Not so much people would be scared of you, but people would not walk over you, or not walk on you, or they wouldn't look down on you. You would have this not demeaning. You would have that persona that dignifies respect. That's something else you can do. Trying to think of anything else. Now, these are all the sigils that someone else created through their own spell and sigil and magical practice. It's not to say that you can't. You can definitely come up with your own personal seals. Seals and sigils, I do believe, in my opinion, a seal is something that is either keeping something inside, keeping something protected, and a sigil can be used for anything like that. But I think their definitions it's a fine line, very hazy line between those two words in the magical sense. But you can create your own. You can create your own personal seal for protection. There are family seals, family crests. You can use those in your magic. Your own family crest, family seal. And you would go about that just like how you create other sigil, any other sigil. If you do any sigil work, if you don't know how to do that, I recommend Google. There are a ton of interesting and very informative blogs out there. There are some really good books that have how to make sigils. There may even be a book called Sigil Magic. I'm not sure. It's not one that I know. But so, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them down below for me in the comment section. And until next week, many blessings.